Advocates for at least four American nationals who were jailed in Iran before the U.S. Israeli strikes began are growing increasingly concerned about their safety. It is believed that they were being held at the notorious Evin prison in Tehran before the war started. But as the military strikes continue, there has been little news on their condition or efforts to move them to a safer location. CBS News reporter Haley Ott has been following this story. She joins us now from our London bureau with more. Haley, what do we know about the conditions of those Americans? Has there been any communication about them?
Hi, Adriana. Well, a bit of context. Before this war began, actually, literally the day before, Secretary of State Marco Rubio designated Iran the first state sponsor of wrongful detention, a new designation created by one of President Trump's executive orders that had never been given to any country before. At the time, Rubio said the Islamic Republic had a long history of hostage diplomacy, which is taking people from other countries prisoner to use as bargaining chips. And it demanded Iran stop. And then the U.S. and Israel-led strikes began the next day. Now, we know of at least four Americans who were being held in Tehran's Evin prison before the start of the war, one of whom was designated officially wrongfully detained by the State Department. But the others also contest their detentions, and they were already facing dire circumstances with restrictions to their medications and health care, for example. And with this war, with these strikes, there's serious concern that those conditions in that prison could be deteriorating. Our sources inside the prison say that there have been strikes so close that windows have been blown out. We know that that prison has been hit in previous conflicts. And we've heard reports that prison guards aren't showing up for work. That could mean that potentially as this conflict escalates, these prisoners could be abandoned without access to things like food. So it's a very alarming situation.
And not able to get out. Haley, do we know anything about these Americans that are imprisoned there?
We have two names that have been shared publicly. One is a journalist. One is a 61-year-old Long Island resident. Both have been held for a long period of time, and their families and lawyers say that they have health conditions, they have medical needs that aren't being seen to. We haven't heard directly from them. Their lawyers haven't heard from them since this conflict began. And there's really tremendous concern that as things continue, their conditions may deteriorate. Their lawyers have asked the U.S. government and the Israeli government to exercise caution in their strikes around Evin prison, and also suggested potentially that if there are any negotiations, these prisoners could be front of mind in those.
Haley Ott with important reporting on vulnerable Americans inside Iran. Thank you so much.